Okay, the battery isn't filled yet, but I'm still on a cable. But I guess this is gonna work out. So, in the meantime, while I was loading the battery of my camera, I prepared a game, which isn't really like done yet. But you know, I forgot a name, the red one, and Tama. And I have hand cards prepared and live cloth. So I was explaining the checkzone. So, but instead, I'm just gonna like emulate a game. So Tama. So the beginning of a game, you know, who starts is determined by whatever you want to determine it by. Coin flip, die roll, no, stone, scissors, paper, whatever. I just declared now that Tama begins, and then red one moves on. So Tama has 5 cards in her hand, and the beginning player can draw an additional one. So I'm gonna draw an additional one. It's this one. And after that, you know, the grow zone comes. So I'm gonna say, you know, like in the anime, grow, and then I'm gonna look through my lyric deck for a level 1 Tama, which I found here, and I'll place it over my other Tama. After that, there is, I think I just said zone, but I actually meant phase or sequence, what it is called. So after that, there's another sequence which is called the inner sequence, where I can place cards from my hand into the inner zone. Similar like Duel Masters, where cards also count as mana. So I have all these cards in my hand, and now I have, I don't know, let's say I don't really need this one or this one, but this one has a special ability, so I'm gonna use this one for my inner zone. And I can place this into the inner zone. When I do that, you know, the card is gone, but I can then later discard it into the trash, which is down here, and use it as mana. So this one has an ability where it counts as all mana, because it's actually a colorless card where these are white cards, similar to Magic, you know, white, black, blue, green, and red. And then I can place lyrics based, lyrics, signies based on the level and the limit of my Tama. So I placed one here, but I have another one here, so and I placed this one into the Signy zone. Which one is in the beginning kind of irrelevant. She has 1000 power, she's weak anyway, she probably dies. And she has an ability where I look at the top 3 cards of my deck and can place them in any order. So that's pretty handy because, you know, as you can see, there's another one. And I put this up here and place them in this order back in my deck. So the starting player can't attack. That's a negative. Actually, being the starting player, in my opinion, is kind of bad because there are 2 things. Not only can you not attack, but you also only draw 1 card, while the player who's now next this turn can draw 2 cards from his deck, which is, in my opinion, way better. So red has also 5 cards and also 7 life cloth, and I'm gonna draw 2 cards. This one I draw, and this one, and both are kind of bad because neither of them are level 1. I'm gonna grow my, I forgot her name. It's only in kanji, so I can't even tell you what her name was again. She's a bitch anyways. So I'm gonna level her up, and I can now play lyrics, but first I'm gonna put one of my cards from my hand into my inner zone, so I can use that for spell cards and effects and so on later, or to grow my lyric. So now I have all these cards, and I can only play level 1s, as you can see, and I have only this one, which is strong enough to kill the other one. But I also have this spell card. When I use this, and this costs absolutely 0, as you can see, 0, I can play this and draw 1 card. Which didn't ever turn out so well, because I only drew this this seismic attack, or whatever it's called. But whatever, I'm gonna place this Signy into this zone, and it's always better to destroy the opponent's Signies than to attack the life cloth, because, you know, they have 7 of that, but they can only have 3 Signies at the time, and Signies attack your life cloth as well, so it's in my opinion, a good strategy to kill Signies. So after I played that, and now my main zone is over. Now comes my battle zone. There's only one main phase. I'm battle phase, main phase, not main zone, battle zone. That's stupid. In the battle phase, I attack with my Signy, but also I attack with my Lyric, and I'm going to talk about that when I attack. So this one attacks. They can attack immediately. They don't have summoning sickness like in Magic, and because she has more power, as you can see, she has 2,000, and this one has 1,000. She destroys her in battle. When a card is destroyed, it's not sent into the trash, but it rather sent into the inner zone. I'm sorry, inner zone. That's actually true. Which is actually pretty good because now I have 2 mana available for next turn. When the Lyric attacks, it doesn't have power, as you can see. It can only attack the life cloth, and it will always attack the life cloth unless you have something called a guard effect. As you can see the G here, there's also written down in katakana, Gado, the first one, if you can read a little bit of katakana. You can discard this from your hand directly into the trash this time. Sorry, here's the trash. To negate one attack, which just comes in handy later. And only, as far as I know, only these cards, this one, or this one, here's just another one, have these effects. I have not seen yet a colored card, these are colorless cards, who have that effect. Here's another one of those. So she attacks and destroys a life cloth. So life cloth comes into check zone. So we have this one again. And I have to see. I think this is another effect. So this card normally draws you a card, but the black effect is the what is it called again? It has a name. I'm gonna look it up and put it in the description or something. So when this triggers, it's a trigger effect. When it goes into check zone, it triggers, and the effect comes, and it does following. First of all, this comes into my inner zone, and then I'm gonna put the top card of my deck into my inner zone as well, which, as we know, was this one. But I couldn't foresee that this would happen. You don't have to do this. I think this is a May effect, but I would like to have this because now I have more mana in my zone. So after this, the turn is over, and another one is, and the next one is done. So next one is this turn. So Tama is, and she draws 2 cards. I grow her into Tama level 2, which costs me 1 white. So I have to discard one of these into my trash. Place the rest back again to my Lyric deck. And, then I can put one of my hands into this. I'm going to do this. And then I can play again. So I have her as level 2. I'm going to place her here. And another level 2. And place her here so I can have 5 together. If I had a level 1 as well, I could put a level 1 into play. So I have this one, I can draw a card. I'm going to do that. It's a level 3, whatever. So, and they attack, and they destroy this one. This goes into the inner zone. This one destroys one of those. This one is also inner charge. That's, I think, the ability is called. Okay. Done. And my Tama attacks as well, and destroys another life cloth, and this time it's no effect. Goes into the inner zone, and then I'm done, and so on, and this is like repeats itself. So I draw, I level up, and so on, blah blah blah. So I'm not gonna finish this game because it's gonna take a while, especially if I'm fighting myself. But I wanna showcase something else. So I have these arts, and these arts are basically like spell cards. So I haven't really shown much spell cards besides the draw 1 card, but they're like these, for example. This one destroys a Signy with 5,000 power less, so I could use this to destroy this one. Destroyed. It cost me 1 red, and I can also use these. These are arts. They are basically like spells, and they have different, when you can use them. Sometimes you can only use them in main phase, but sometimes you can use them in attack phase. Sometimes you can use them in whatever. And you can fetch them at any time and use them at any time as they allow you to get their effects. And they're really cool because they give you like this non-random strategical edge where you have to prepare your deck because your Lyric deck, the white cards, can only be 10 while the other deck is 40. I don't know if it's more, but 40 at least. I think you can have more than 40, but it's always the best if you have smaller decks to draw the cards that you need. And then, you can use them to gain an edge. And the red deck so far isn't so strong, and I don't know all the cards in the white deck because I actually changed it and I haven't memorized all the cards. And my Japanese is not good enough to actually know all the effects. But that's basically conclude. So when you destroy all the life cloth, let's say they're all destroyed, and the last attack hits and there's no life cloth anymore and it goes through, then you lost the game and the other one won the game. And that's basically the goal of the game, to destroy them. And you can destroy these Signies, and the Signies power themselves up later and they have special effects. This, for example, is just a vanilla Signy that has just 3000 power for one, while this one does something cool. I think this destroys, or this like, oh, this is like these color-coded things. This is an on-play effect. You get like 15,000 power or something. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so this is kind of confusing and like chaotic, but I just wanted to get you the main idea by showing you the actual game, not just pictures of it from online, but I have these cards, I can play with them. I just need friends to play with them because so far no one knows how to play this game besides me. Anyways, some rule things, you can have 4 copies of each card in the deck. The lyric cards, like the white cards, are a little bit different because you can only have 10 of them in your deck, and it's smart to have different ones. And you need the lyrics, actually, the level 4 lyrics. These are really important because they allow you to play the strongest cards. You can have multiple ones, and you can only grow, the same character. So this one here is, I don't know her name, but you can only grow her, and you cannot grow her into Tama and so on. That's obvious. And some effects, have abilities like Tama works well together with her, and she pumps your creature, so you have Tama level 4 and stuff. So there's cool things you can do, cool tribal things around lyrics, around specific Signy or specific spells. And I have all these other decks, and they're all pretty cool and different. Though the starter decks are all built up the same. You have the same amount of level 1s, the same amounts of level 2s, and spells, and arts, and stuff. And just like a little trivia here, this fucking deck took me my entire trip of Japan to find it. So when we were first in Osaka, and I bought the red and the white deck. Then in Kyoto I bought the other 4, as you can see here. This one, like the 2 black and 2 blue. I didn't even know there were 2 blue and 2 black, but they actually are neo ones. This one is from the new characters you can see here. It's the cute one, while this one is the crazy one. Anyways, to get all these cards, was easy. I get all these, and then I always wanted to buy the green one. This was sold out everywhere, literally everywhere. I went to Japan, into Tokyo, into Akihabara, and I went into every store which sold cards in Akihabara, and I did not find a single piece of this. So back in Osaka, I went back to Shinobashi, Yoshibashi, I think, I don't know, Denden Town, that's what it's called. And I went into all card game shops again, and I did not find this until I later thankfully found that the Denden Town was actually bigger than I thought, and one shop had 2 copies of them left, and I bought one, and I was really happy. Because they're not expensive, and I would have bought them online, but online they cost like $20. Well, this one cost me 10, and I really wanted them because I wanted to have them all, because they're so cheap, and that's why I also bought a lot of boosters. So they're cheap, they cost 1,000 yen, online $20, which is still okay, but I think it's definitely the edge, where there's not more you want to pay, because it's just a starter deck. It's not the amazing. So these are a bit more expensive, because not only are they like 300 yen per piece, which is like $3, but they only have like 5 cards in them. I hope this one is not one that I actually, well, I think this one is what I sorted. No, it's not. So pull something out here. So there are like 5 cards in them. Oh, it's 6, 7. Oh, it's 7. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's not many, you know. And this one is like a collector thing, and they cost me a lot. So I spent like $100 on this all, which is okay, I think. But it's just because, you know, it's hard to get them outside of Japan, as far as I know. And I wanted to try them, so I hope you learned something. I hope this was not too confusing. I'm just gonna summarize. You know, there are 4 card types: Lyric, Signy, Spells, and Arts. Lyrics are your avatars. Signy are your creatures, like your attackers. Arts are your special spells or traps or whatever, and spells are just your spells. You destroy opponent's life cloth until he has no life cloth anymore, and then you give him a finishing blow. Your Lyric can attack, always the life cloth. The Signy attack, always the Signy in front of them, unless there is nothing, and then they take the life cloth. When things die, they go into the inner zone. The inner zone is mana. You can use that to spend on spells and effects, and you're leveling up your Lyric. And yeah, that's basically all you have to know. You can read more about this in the wiki. That's basically where I'll get my information from, and other videos people made about this. But yeah, this is, as you can see, the fucking Wixoss, and if you're interested, I would recommend it. I think it's a good game. It's a lot of fun. All these cards are different, you know. This black deck plays completely different from this black deck. This one is actually black and white. This is pretty cool. This blue deck plays different from this blue deck. And the red deck is kind of bad. And the white deck is kind of overpowered. And I don't know about the green deck because I have not played it much. Because it's like the last one I bought. And back then, you know, we didn't have much time to try it out, me and my friend. So I only played it once to get a feel for it. But yeah, it's also okay. It's like kind of like the red one, but slightly better. And I got all these boosters, and they're all really cool. And I wish I had this Tama because she's fucking cool and really strong. Or this Tama, she's actually a card that I don't have. So yeah, that's it. Nice.